So I have great kids. We were just in Ireland with them this summer, and we walked outside. It was nighttime. If you've ever been in Ireland, the sky is just jet black, and the stars just pop. It's unbelievable. And we walk outside. My daughter, who's 20 years old, we walk outside. She looks up at the sky, and she goes, "Oh, my God, they have the Big Dipper here, too." 20 years old, in college. Harvard University. No, she goes to community college, but still, she should know. They should teach that. My son just graduated. He had a degree in communications, which is the study of how to live off your father for the rest of your life. And I called him up before he graduated. I called him up on a Tuesday at like 1 p.m. He picks up the phone, shit-faced. I'm like, "Why are you drunk on a Tuesday at 1 o'clock? He's like, "Dad, because my wine appreciation class is on Tuesday." You're what? What am I paying for? Do you know the shit gigs I have to take to pay for you to go through? I was at the Green Bay Chuckle Hut in January. So you could take a wine class? And the semester before that, he took a class in improvisational comedy. Really? Here's an improv. You're at a job interview, and you got no fucking skills. Go. Fucking drunk. I have him in gay conversion therapy right now. He's not gay, but we're trying to flip him so he can get a job when he graduates. So me and my son went to the beach this summer. I live on Venice Beach. And we're throwing a football, we're riding some waves, and then all of a sudden this girl comes running into the water. She's got on a little bikini, got huge tits. She's like 17. Or like 18 or 19. Now I think about it, she was like 21. At least. She was like at least 21. And she gets in the water, and this wave comes and hits her. Her top flips up, tit pops out, but she didn't notice. I did. I tapped my son on the shoulder. I'm like, "Happy birthday, asshole, look at that." And he sees her, and he just lights up. And then he turns, and he high-fives me. And I remember thinking, this is the closest I've felt to this kid in my entire life. This is the peak of our relationship. I'll be on my deathbed someday, and he'll be holding my hand. And in my last breath, I'll be like, "Remember that fat tit we saw in Venice Beach?"
I think the most I've been messed with is my daughter was in 7th and 8th grade volleyball, and part of the uniforms are spandex shorts. And no thank you. Not ever. Not spandex on anyone, not ever. I was in Florida once, and I saw a bunch of senior citizens biking on pedal bikes towards me, and they were all wearing head-to-toe spandex. It is an unflattering, thank you, material. You see me fucking go deer in headlights? It is an unflattering, that's what happened in my head. I just flatlined. Material? Yes, thank you. Have you ever grabbed a balloon that's not inflated and squished it, and then part of it pops up between your fingers? That's what spandex does to the human body. Don't groan. I didn't invent spandex. I'm explaining something to you. That's why I say we can't let these little kids wear it. Because some of these kids haven't gone through their growth spurt yet, right? And so they have that little belly you have when you're a kid or a 46-year-old man. And they pull their spandex up over their belly to hide it. But what they don't realize, when the top goes up, the bottoms come up. Now we have what I like to refer to as a situation. I went to every home game of my daughter's 7th and 8th grade volleyball career, and I had not seen that many camel toes since the parade scene in Aladdin. I know some of you aren't understanding. Listen, that's 75 golden camels. That's 4 legs apiece. You get it. Some of you are still looking at me like I'm a creep. Hold on. I didn't walk in the school like, do you know where the camel toes are? Prince Ali, yes it is he, but not as you know him. That's not what happened. I bet you like that one, kiddo, huh? Yeah. Shit, probably just watched that yesterday. What's up? It startled me the first time. I mean, I walked in, you don't expect it, no one warns you about it. I bet dads that are like, have seen this before, like, oh shit, I'm not saying a word, watch this. And you walk in, you're like, hey girl, pat, camel toe, and you're like, no! I backed up to the bleachers, started feeling for him, and then I started sliding down the bleachers, moving away from the noise. I was like, I would rather walk through darkness with friends than see camel toes in the light. It's Helen Keller. All right, part of that is Helen Keller. But that's what I would do. I would sit way on the other end of the bleachers and I would stare at a brick across the gym and listen to volleyball. Because I wasn't interested. It's not fun. It's gross. Put them in basketball shorts. It's the same building. It's the same court. They just raised the nets. Fucking put them in the same stuff. One day I was looking at my brick, listening to volleyball, and someone hit an errant shot, and the ball caught my attention, so I looked at it quickly, and then, pah, camel toe. Now, have you ever not unwrapped a Cadbury egg all the way? Little piece of tinfoil left on it. It's the first thing you bite down on, and your brain goes, That's what happens to a good dad when he is sniped by a camel toe.
It's dangerous having no kids at this age. Because when you're a middle-aged white male, you start developing hobbies. And we traditionally have not had the best hobbies. I have too much free time, and I've found myself getting into conspiracy theories. I think my generation is especially prone to conspiracy theories, by the way. I think we are, because I have a theory that when people my age... When people my age were kids, people told us that there were boners in Disney movies. And then we got older, and it turned out that there were boners in Disney movies. So what else aren't they telling us? You know what I mean? But I did. I knew myself too well. I enjoyed the Da Vinci Code too much to be 100% sure that I wouldn't eventually get into QAnon, right? So I've had to pick up hobbies. I've had to pick up hobbies so I don't get into conspiracy theories. I swear this is true. I got into smoking meat. So I would have something to do. I did. I got a big green egg in my backyard and I smoked meat on it. And QAnon and smoking meat are actually pretty similar pursuits. Whichever one you get into, you end up watching a lot of 90-minute YouTube videos. Where it's just like a fat, sweaty guy in Mississippi talking right into the camera. Here's what they're not telling you about natural gas, brother. But I did. I got into smoking meat so I wouldn't get into conspiracy theories. You might say, instead of QAnon, I actually can't tell this joke. I'm sorry, I can't do it. No, I'm sorry, I can't do it, I know. No, this is the special. You all came here tonight. I appreciate you so much for supporting me, but in good conscience, I can't tell this joke because if we're being 100% honest with each other, last time I did, somebody died because it's... No, it's because it's too funny. It's too funny of a joke. I appreciate you volunteering. But even still, it's random. It's random. But I can't do it. I just can't do it. All right, I can't feel like. So we'll just move on. Is that? All right, I'm gonna tell it. But like Okay. Just set the scene again. About 25 minutes of the most blistering stand-up comedy you've ever heard, and then. Okay, the context for this, I got into smoking meats and I wouldn't get into conspiracy theories. You might say, instead of QAnon, I just can't do it. I'm sorry. Because for you, this is all fun and games, right? But I was on stage. I saw it happen. I saw someone was sitting right there and they laughed so hard that their skeleton flew out of their body. And the skeleton sat down next to them and the skeleton was laughing. So the skin was laughing and then the skeleton was laughing and the skeleton was laughing so hard that the ghost flew out of the skeleton. And then all three of them were laughing together, right? All three, and then the skeleton and the ghost, they looked at each other, and then the skin and the skeleton looked at each other, and then all three of them looked at each other, and they were like, whoa, and then they all three collapsed. And now I am locked in litigation, all right? Heavy litigation. And I have not worked in show business in over a year. All right, I'll tell it. Okay. Instead of look, I just set the context. I got into smoking meat so I wouldn't get into conspiracy theories. All right, here we go. Instead of QAnon, I got into barbecuanon. Hard to come back from that one. That's probably gonna have to tear the theater down after that. It is, though. It is hard to tell another joke after that.
We got Koreans here? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hi! 안녕하세요. 감사합니다. Anyway, that's our own personal thing we got right now. I'm sorry. I'm just half Korean. I know how to, well, that's all I know how to say, but that's all right. I think y'all didn't know though. Y'all were like, woo, he speak Korean too. I know 2 words, that's it. 안녕하세요, which means hello, and 감사합니다, which means thank you. That's it. 친만이요, what's 친만이요 mean? Yeah, you don't try to show me up the way you say it. She said it the right way. 친만이요. I'm like the dumb American. Oh, 친만이요. Oh, you mean 친만이요. You know what I'm saying. What's it mean?
Well, you didn't say it right.
It's a true. But you knew what I was trying to say.
Well, you're not saying like really like, no? See,
Are you my mom? I swear, my mom. But that's all Korean women. They the same, man. They don't give you no credit. Like a white parent would have been like, oh, good try. Let's do it again. Not Asian mom. Oh, you're so stupid. You said wrong. I don't know what 친만이요 mean. You 친만이 stupid. They rough, man. They're like gangster. Like my mom's like this woman, that's my mom. And then when you're like, they love it. They say what's on their mind. And that's what I love about my mom too. She don't care about your feelings. This woman does not care about my feelings up here. Even though, like, they wouldn't have known the difference if you just would have, you could have said anything. No, you wrong. You're so wrong. Say what?
What's the translation?
Translation?
Yeah.
Huh?
With
Oh, she never told us. I don't know. I did say it right because you said it right after me. You knew what I was trying to say.
Well, I don't know if you got it right.
Well, Chinmanio. Really? Really?
That means really.
Oh, that means really. Oh. Yes. How, oh my God. Look. My mom got mad at me because the clip went viral. Because this is the honest truth. So, look. I do a podcast with my parents. I don't know if you see it. So a lot of people don't believe like my parents are like this. So go to my YouTube channel where my special is, and you can see a podcast. I do a lot of podcasts with my parents. Their clips have gone viral, millions of views, right? Like it's crazy. People love them. Anyway, so I asked my dad and mom how they met. My mom goes, so I met your dad at a bar. And then my dad goes, I met her at a strip club. She was on a pole, Clip got 3-4 million views, right? They live in Houston. And my mom said, I hate your show. So many people think I'm stripper. She goes, a lady said, I didn't know strip clubs. They had strip clubs way back then. She was like, shut up. So she wanted me to, she was in my car this morning because they're visiting my son. It was his birthday. She goes, whenever you're out, tell people I was never a stripper. So she wasn't a stripper. They met at a bar that had a pole. My mom's last name? Like my last name?
Oh, that's your last name.
What? No, Yo, okay, people get confused. My middle name is Yo. Because my mom, that's her name is Kamoki Yo. These Koreans are with me, man. You're trying to, you laughing at me again. Kamoki Yo.
Yeah, but it's like 2 syllables, not 3 syllables.
It's 2 syllable, not 3 syllable. You say it.
Kumok.
Gomok.
Yeah. Kumokyo.
Gomok. It's Gomok. Can we kick her out of the show, please? She been on my ass the whole time. This is great. It's a true. It's a true. It's a true. It's a true. It's Gomok. It's not Gomokyo. Gomok. So my mom said she put Yo in my name because I guess it took her like 28 hours to push me out. So she's like, my name gonna be somewhere in your name. So now my name is Michael Yo and my last name is Simmons. And Yo has always been my middle name, but everybody just called me Yo growing up because I grew up when Yo MTV Raps was big, right? So everybody like, Yo. And now my mom called, I remember when I first got on TV, she said, only reason you're on TV, because of me. But also, like she said, it's Kamok, but all the family members call my mom, it's spelled K-U-M, So everybody calls my mom Cum. That's what she's known as, Cum. Like when people meet her, they'll be like, hey, what's up, Cum? And I was so embarrassed as a kid. Like I would tell people my mom's name was Kim. And I remember I told my principal, because parents got to meet the principal and stuff. And he was like, Kim, how are you? And she goes, oh, who Kim? Me Cum.
Well, guys, I'm excited. My wife and I recently celebrated our 2nd wedding anniversary. Thank you. Still early enough that you can feign excitement. Appreciate it. She and I have an 18-year age difference between us. My wife is 68 years old. So funny, I don't get it. Love knows no bounds. No, of course she's 32. I'm progressive, but I'm not that progressive. Because of the age difference, situations arise. Like I remember when I first met her oldest brother. My wife is the youngest of 5. When I met her oldest brother, he sat me down to have like a stern talking to the older brother talk. He's like, listen up, take good care of her, okay? But he himself is 10 years younger than I am. So he's like, yeah, I will, and I'll take good care of you too. Like, you'll all be taken care of. Because of the age difference, I have friends who feel that it's appropriate to present me with basic math problems. They'll say things like, dude, do you realize you're 50? That means if you have a kid now, when that kid is 10, you're gonna be 60. Yeah, I do know what 50 plus 10 is, thank you. If I didn't know that, I wouldn't feel equipped to bring a child into the world. Like, until you spoke up, my plan was to have the kid, wait 10 years, and see how old I was. My wife is very big on communication. She's always reading books, articles on communication, watching videos, and then she sends me the link. Just a weird way of communicating. But her latest technique, I'll share it with you, is simple enough. If you have a negative thought, you just cancel it. Sounds easy enough in theory, but now sometimes I'm speaking to her, and halfway through my sentence, she's like, cancel, cancel. Like, I don't think you're supposed to say that out loud. That just hurts my feelings. You take on different roles in a marriage, in a relationship. My wife has taken it upon herself to monitor my ear hair situation, which I was completely unaware was a situation, but she is on it. We're sitting on the couch at night. I feel her inching closer and closer, and then she yanks a hair out of my ear and shows it to me as if I'm a dog. She's like, bad, bad. I'm like, I'm twice your age. It's just biology. It is a very exciting time, though. My wife and I are expecting a baby December 28th. Yes. Thank you, thank you. Woo. Yes, that is our expectation. Whatever is growing in her belly right now is a baby. We're very excited about that. I am a comedian. She is an artist. So we're hoping maybe the kid can offer us some guidance, a bit of structure, even for the short term. Very exciting. We haven't picked a name yet for the child or a nationality. I understand Canada has free health care, so we might make a special Christmas trip up there and come back with an immigrant baby. Free of charge. I love America, but I also love free health care. So we've been discussing baby names. Right now our list is Logan, Kendall, Roman, and Shiv if it's a girl. We're binge watching Succession on HBO, so it could change in the next month. We'll see what we're watching late December. At least it wasn't last month. We were watching Peaky Blinders. The list was Polly, Tommy, and Abraham Gold. But, it's very exciting. I feel somewhat anxious, trying to be a good partner. My wife is somewhat hormonal. She's in her 8th month of pregnancy, so I'm navigating that, figuring out when she wants to hear my opinion versus when she wants to hear her opinion in my voice. Not easy, friends, not easy. It's weird being the 3rd most important person in a house that only has 2 people. Oh, so what am I gonna do, folks? Life as we know it, changing forever. We have a very good thing going. My wife and I, we watch British crime dramas, that's our thing. No judgment if you like American, but we prefer the British. Find it much more British. We don't know what they're saying. We have to watch it with subtitles, but we just feel more important and smart. They're like, I don't know what's going on. I think they're in law enforcement. We watch Broadchurch, Luther, Line of Duty, Great British Bake Off, which strictly speaking is not a crime drama, but I thought season 3 did end in a robbery. Brandon definitely deserved it, in my opinion. My wife and I play this ongoing game where she adamantly insists that she does not want chips or chocolate in the house under any circumstances. And then I go grocery shopping, and invariably I buy chips and chocolate because I like those things, and I know that she does as well. And she gets very angry and says, I specifically told you I do not want chips and chocolate in the house. How could you do that? I say, I'm very sorry, it won't happen again. And then later that night, we're watching television, and I feel her inching closer. I know one of two things are about to happen. Either she's going to yank a hair out of my ear, or she will mumble almost inaudibly, well, since we have chips and chocolate, and then I go into the kitchen and fetch the chips and chocolate and lay them out before her, and then she starts to snack like a happy little squirrel, and she's like, this can never happen again. I'm like, it won't happen again. But it will happen again. That's the way the game is played. But my wife, she is, it's weird. It fluctuates. She's very she's very effusive and loving, and then she takes a turn for the worse. It's like if I had a Yelp page, she would leave the most glowing reviews followed by the most scathing reviews, like the same username. People would be like, "Who is this woman?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know. It's confusing. I live with her." She is 8 months pregnant, so she's got like a bit of a waddle. She's almost like the sheriff. She comes walking in, kicks the door open. You pick up them cleaning supplies we talked about? Yeah, Sheriff, I sure did. I picked them up. I don't want there to be any trouble. Nor do I, Sheriff, nor do I. I love being married. I love living with my wife. She scares me a lot of times. I've described marriage as like feeling like a kid again. You know that feeling like when you're in trouble, but you're not sure exactly why? It's like that. Sometimes I get yelled at for things like that kind of seem like inconceivable. Sometimes like just arriving home. I startle her. She's in the midst of something. The other day she was meditating, and I came home to where I live with her. And she yelled at me. She said, what are you doing? I was like, arriving home. And she's like, I'm meditating. I'm like, I think you're doing it wrong. Love her very much. She and I do not sext one another. No judgment if you do. We just don't sext. What we do is we send one another properties on Zillow or Trulia. That's like our dirty talk. We're like, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. You are a bad girl. Let's go, Sheriff. Or if we really want to get naughty, we'll send properties that are way out of our price range. We're like, 800,000? You are nasty. Who likes a big backyard? Who likes a big backyard? You do. I noticed that you do. When you buy a house, there are like questions you're supposed to ask. So I've been reading articles about that. They tell you to ask certain questions. How long were the previous owners living here? What repairs did they make? And then there was an article that said to ask, are there sex offenders in the neighborhood? Which I didn't feel comfortable asking that, looking the way I do. Like, I'd be like, babe, I think you better handle that. I don't want to be like, so, what's the competition like in the area? I want to get a handle on what I'm getting myself into. Right now, we've been visiting people who already have kids. That's our plan for now, just to get a sense of the terrain. We went to visit another of her brothers. He and his wife have twin 4-year-olds and a 1-year-old. And that almost pushed our timetable back to never. Wow, what an eye-opener that was. Literally every morning, the twins would burst through our door at 6 a.m. and jump in the bed. And at first it was kind of cute. We were like, oh, I guess this is just how they start the day. It's adorable. The second day, they came through again at 6. We just pretended like we were still asleep. But undeterred, they slid under the bed and just kept repeating, "Wake up! Wake up!" The third day, we just packed up and got the hell out of there. We had seen enough. So am I equipped? I don't know. You know me, 10 minutes, 5 minutes so far. What do you think? I am excited, I mean, like, if I'm 50, if I'm not ready now, honestly, when's it gonna happen? But it is exciting, it was welcome news for many reasons, mostly because we were trying and because I'd been experiencing erectile issues, not the good kind, if there is such a thing. Is there such a thing as good erectile issues? Like, doc, you gotta help me, it's just erect all the time. Getting to be an issue. No, mine were intermittent, which is not what you want, obviously, in your erections. You want them on demand, like your Wi-Fi, as many bars as possible. But alas, mine had become intermittent. So I've been taking Viagra, which helps with the situation, but it does take some of the spontaneity out of the amorous proceedings. It requires some planning. So I'll say, babe, I'm thinking of taking a Viagra. What does your next hour and a half look like? And does the thought of me with a medically induced erection factor into how you see that going? I'm gonna need a hard yes. Or a semi-soft no. Sometimes even with the planning, it does not work out. One time I took a Viagra, about an hour went by, I said, babe, it's go time. She said, actually, I'm sorry, I'm not in the mood. Is it okay if we watch a movie instead? So then cut to me sitting on the couch with an erection watching Beauty and the Beast. Singing, perhaps there's something there that wasn't there before. There's something sweet, almost kind. But he was mean and he was crossing on your mind. But now he is sweet and so much more. There's something It's even better with an erection. I'm not doing it justice. Really next level.
My favorite action movies of the current day and age that we're in are the Fast and the Furious movies. Those are my favorite ones. Arguably, oh, sure. But even cheering, we know they're the dumbest ones out there. They're dumb, they know they're dumb, and we know they're dumb, and we're still like, give them to me. How dumb are the last one was called Fast X for Fast 10. There's 12 of them. They're like, it's Fast 10. We're like, aren't there 12? They're like, shut up, dummy. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, it's fine. They're the guys that die in one just show back up. They don't even say why. They're just like, hey. They're like, oh, I thought you. Yeah. Like, and then they're formulaic. They're elaborate, but they're truly formulaic. Like, right, I'm going to describe one of the Fast and Furii to you right now, and pretty sure that's how you pluralize it. So, and if you don't know the franchise, you will not know if I'm just making this up
Just pulling it out of my ass. You will have no. And if you do know the franchise, you still will not be sure. Because they just blend into one long Camaro explosion. But say we'll choose anyone from like in the middle. So let's say like 3 to 8. Let's say anywhere in there. You never know what it's going to be. They've already done their first heist. They've established themselves. They've got their millions. You know, this rapscallion crew of Honda Civic jockeys. They've made a few bucks and now they're in different parts of the world, just enjoying their life. We really did it. Nothing can go wrong now. And that's when just a representative from the U.S. government comes in like, we need this crack team of DVD player thieves. When that was relevant, we're the USA, strongest military in the world. Never mind about the Navy SEALs, but we're the strongest military in the world. That's part of the training now. We let puppies lick their toes, and if they crack, they're out. But right now, outside of the best, strongest, big dick military in the world, none of them know how to drive manual. So we really need you guys. We need you, bunch of Corona sipping degenerates, to help us out. What had happened? It's just a group of international terrorists. It's international now. They can't be from a country because that's problematic. But it's still terrorism, but it's very diverse. Who are these terrorists? I don't know. That guy's Cuban. I think he's gay. Whatever. They're all over the place. They're all over the place now. They've stolen the nuclear codes. It's always the codes. It's never the bots, the codes. Apparently somebody's just writing them down in a notebook and just leaving them in a backpack at Starbucks. They always get the codes. It's just somebody like, all right, I got my keys, I got my wallet, chapstick. Oh, my JanSport full of nuclear codes. I can't believe I left it on the bus. So, the terrorists have stolen nuclear codes. They've hidden them in a Lamborghini. That's right, hide something. They've hidden them in a Lamborghini. Tastefully colored. No, it's orange. Bright orange Lamborghini. And they've stashed it on top of the bad guy's skyscraper. That's where I'd put it. You can't put it in the garage. It'll get scratched. So... there's a bright orange Lamborghini full of nuclear codes on top of a heavily protected skyscraper in a country that we will not name because this movie needs to make money everywhere. So, what did I tell you? You know, you gotta feel. So that's on you guys now to help us. Because our military can't do it. And they're like, all right, assemble. Well, let's first, who do we have in our team that might have like a connection? A guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who might have like just a special Lamborghini lifting helicopter. And then just out of the shadows comes former hip hop star Ludacris. Oh, sure. Of course. Can you imagine it being someone else? Other than Ludacris? I am convinced Ludacris does not know he's in these movies. I think he shows up wearing the clothes he was gonna wear anyway. And they just convince him to say a few key phrases. What? Lamborghini living in a helicopter. Got it, that's it. And they call him Ludacris half the time, I'm pretty sure. I don't know his character names like Dave or Lugnut, I don't know, but they're like, all right, so Luda, shit, oh, should we cut? Because I called them, like, nope, we already blew the budget on special effects. Just keep going. But somehow they get Ludacris to say, yeah, I got a guy. And they're like, all right, cool. And so that's it. We're like only 20 minutes in the movie, short and sweet. They cracked the case, you know. So special Lamborghini lifting helicopters coming over the horizon, you know, just approaching. And it's a unique looking helicopter. And bad guy skyscraper's over here, but it's a skyscraper. They got a vantage point with elevation. They're like, that looks like a particular kind of helicopter. Maybe one specifically designed for picking up Lamborghinis full of nuclear codes. And then the bad guys are like, well, should we double check? Like, where are the bad guys? And they just shoot it down. They just shoot it down right there. And you're 25 minutes into the movie, like, well, oh no, what are we gonna do? That was the plan. And So now we got to go back to the clubhouse where everybody's hanging out. And we're like, all right, well, that was our one shot. So now we got to go real unorthodox, maybe something like with math and science and engineering. Do we have somebody in our group with that kind of brain, that analytical thinking that could figure out some way with engineering to get the car off there? Oh, yeah, former model Tyrese, of course. Of course, when I think of engineering mastermind, I think of Tyrese. Tyrese, I believe, is reading the script just below the camera at all times. Oh, what's up? You all need help getting a lamb giant? That says Lamgina, man. That's how it's spelled. Oh. Y'all need to get a Lamborghini off a building. And then they just cut to a whiteboard with a lot of shapes and numbers on it. And he just goes, there. They just had some intern run in, just make geometric shapes and put some math on there. And that's when Tyree's like, well, if you drive it fast enough off the edge of the building and you could just fly it away on account of a Lamborghini has the doors that do this. It's got doors like this. Well, if you get enough speed, it could actually travel non-traditionally. That sounds like Back to the Future. Shut up, man. And so, if you got enough speed, all right, so that's the plan. We'll fly the Lamborghini. To where? Okay, well, I guess we could just get a short-term lease on a good guy skyscraper across the street. We'll just roll in with some cash, talk to the landlord. According to Tyrese's calculations, we really only need floors 8 through 13. We really only need those. Given the trajectory of his math, that's where the Lamborghini should crash into. So we'll get a short-term lease there. Absolutely, short-term lease. All right, but now we have to execute this plan. Who do we have amongst our crew that is brave enough, that is strong enough, that is bald and dumb enough to... We all know who it is. My man Vincent Diesel. That's who's coming in there. Vincent Diesel. My man Dominic Toretto. I just go by Vincent these days. He hears him talking about, he scoots out from underneath some hot rod that's blowing up in every movie. Every movie, that car just fucking explodes at the end, and the next one starts with him like, Apparently all you need is a 5/8 wrench to be like, back in action. He scoots out with a totally clean tank top and just stands up like, I'll do it. He's only got 5 lines. And he rolls in there. He gets to bad guy skyscraper. He just starts at the bottom, just indiscriminately just kills, shoots this guy. Gets to 1 floor, where's the call center? What's happening? No witnesses. Shoots him. Gets him to what? We're just United Airlines customer service. What's going on? Double tap. I gotta fly them tomorrow. He just kills everybody in the skyscraper and gets up to the roof where the Lamborghini full of nuclear codes. He gets in. There's always a minute where he's just is horny for the car. Where he's like, Why? He fires it up, backs up, shoots it towards the edge of the building. Boom, it goes. He pops the doors. That's it. They're the wings. It's flying. Of course it's flying. We've all agreed that this is real. I'm on my 3rd bag of popcorn just going, of course it worked. Tyrese knows math. I'm absolutely with him on this, 100%. But then there's one terrorist he didn't get yet. There's one guy, and he's just barely hanging on, but he's dedicated to being a terrorist. And he's like, he pulls his AK-47 over by him, and he says something hack, because they didn't pay the writers well enough. So this guy's just like, not on my watch, or some shit. Something dumb. He's got one bullet left and he fires it off, but it doesn't hit Vincent. It doesn't hit like the undercarriage. Like, it just hits the window in the door, which that's where the lift exists for the Lamborghini to fly. Oh no, this whole plan unravels. Now the Lamborghini's spiraling and Vincent's like, what are we gonna do? And it's spiraling, it's not gonna go to the designated floors that they gotta rent on. It just smashes into the side, a good guy skyscraper. And Vincent thinks quick, he flips outside, he grabs a seatbelt, he's dangling off the side of the building. He's holding on like an office chair that's hooked on an I-beam that's hanging out of a under construction office, and he's holding on to the Lamborghini by the seatbelt, just like, he gotta do this. And he's looking at his crucifixes just dangling, shining in the sunlight, and he looks at that, and that's when he's like, oh yeah, family, and he just, which is such, that's weird that's what that reminds him of, because the guy in that crucifix, his dad killed him. That's a weird thing to go with. But that's where he gets his strength, family, and and he flings a Lamborghini over his head into the office up there, and he drags himself up, and he's just got glass coming out of his bald head, and it's bleeding. He drags himself in there, and the rest of the crew, they all rush up to make sure he's okay, and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe that was so close. And the main, like the starlet, his wife, I don't even know, she shows up for the first 5 minutes in the movie and disappears, but then she's there at the end, like she was part of this crew the whole time, and she's like, oh, I can't believe, I'm so glad you're safe, don't you do that ever again. But then she's like, but also the way you saved the world has got me all, every time you just assert yourself this way, we should fuck. And he's just laying there bleeding like, all right. And that's the part of the movie where I'm like, I was with you the whole time. I was with you from Ludacris just being called Ludacris, from Tyrese knowing science. I was on board with everything. Flying Lamborghini, instantly, of course. But there's no way he's fucking rocking up for this. And not then, no. I just want one action movie where that's the moment where it really hits the realism, where it's just like everything happened, there's explosions, death, blood, and I just want the main guy to just be like, what, are you fucking around? Did you not see what I just... Can I get like 20 minutes? Jesus Christ. I see. This is what horned you up? What's wrong? I just killed all those guys. And that, not to mention, I ran up the whole building, but those guys had families. I'm sad about that. You don't really... And also, I've been at my target heart rate all day with this plan. I think this is rebar that went through a kidney. My blood pressure's plummeting, but I mean, if you need it, we can give it a shot, but it won't be good. I hope you're into people watching, because we're gonna have to do it in the ambulance, because I am fighting off the tunnel vision right now of a blackout, and I need fluids, not sexy fluids, vital fluids. I need fluids and monitoring, and I will be passing out throughout the whole thing. But if you want to give it a shot with the EMTs looking over us, I could try and thumb it in for as long as I'm conscious. I mean, that's the best I can promise you is every 30 seconds I'm just going to be slapping my dick against my hand like a TV remote with a dead battery. So, I mean, we can try, but I'd love 6 to 8 weeks for a full recovery, just to be honest with you there. So that's... Just give me an ounce of reality, Fast and Furious.
I'm a big Dr. Phil guy. Dr. Phil, just such a, I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but the way he'll just chop you down and then throw to commercial. Brilliant comedic timing. Just, hey, I'll fucking, hey, shut your fucking mouth, you little twat. We'll be right back. And just every time, hilarious. I don't know what the episode was about, where that context was headed, but Hey, Nathan, look at me right now. Look at me. Look at me. I don't like your attitude. I don't like your energy, okay? You're 16. I don't know how you got out of bed. Okay, you're dressed like a goddamn WNBA ref, okay? You're on my stage right now. I don't like the way that your eyes are looking at my... I want to fucking hit you, dog, but I'm not gonna, because you got secrets, okay, Nathan? And we got to get to rock top to figure out why you're at rock bottom, because your heart's being driven into the ground. It's a depressive submarine, and you need help, okay? Give me one reason, Nathan, why you're not a loser, and I'll give you 10 reasons why everyone in your family wishes you were dead. We'll be right back. We'll see if we get Nathan to step back from that ledge, my friend. Third Eye Blind style. His teasers are unbelievable, though. Phil does not want you to change that channel. He'll do anything in his power. On today's show, you gotta stick around. My next guest has a UTI, but a PhD. Please say hello to Stephanie. Come on back. She's gonna bleed on a beanbag. My next guest has Down syndrome, but an upbeat attitude. Please say hello to Anthony. He's gonna come up here and do a Sudoku backwards. Dr. Pimple Popper. Another good one that makes you feel good. Again, we have these down days, these down weeks. Life gets fucking tricky, man. People don't talk about it enough, that just how much certain shows can just give you that mood boost that you're looking for. Could really turn the entire year around. Dr. Pimple Popper is a show where you're like, man, I needed this. I was having a weird off week. I missed my best bud's birthday. I was late on a cable payment. Then you turn on Pimple Popper and you're like, fucking, at least I'm not that guy. You know what I'm saying? At least I'm not walking into her office like, hey, I got a foot on my shoulder. You got any cream for the shoulder foot, Dr. Pimple Popper? It's like, Jesus, Grover, how'd you escape Sesame Street? Got out of your contract? But you feel bad. You try to have some compassion. She does. That's what drew me into the show. Dr. Pimple Popper has an exuberant amount of empathy, and that's what really drew me in, right? She never wants to assume anything is more than what it is. Somebody will walk in, no joke, with like 2 4-pound nut sacks, spooning on the side of their chin. And she'll look right at him and go, so what brings you in here today? I bet it's not the fact that you're teabagging your own fucking face, is it? There's got to be a mole somewhere we can trim down, get those ears to line up. Planet Earth was my go-to COVID show. We all had that show during the pandemic that just helped us escape. And I travel all the time, so once that was sucked out of my routine, Planet Earth was this, saving grace of like, dude, look at all these beautiful places the country provides that I might not ever get to see live in the flesh again. And David Attenborough, to me, has the best pipes in the biz. This guy narrates the shit out of these amazing views. But even his commentary was getting too raw for my taste, because the chaos that was happening outdoors was bleeding into his narration. He was not immune from what was happening. It was like, Tasmania is a world apart. And just like any other sanctuary this side of Australia, winter means a struggle for survival. As the snow wolf fights for food, the platypus finds shelter in a nearby cave, which provides the perfect place for him to kill himself in. Fuck, why would he do that, Dave? Because, Adam, COVID-19 is running rapid! Monkeypox is just around the bend. Debt is at an all-time high. Jobs are at an all-time low. And who knows if the vaccine will be here soon enough to save us? I myself am not vaccinated. I didn't get Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson. I went to Costco and got the Kirkland brand vaccine. I'm fine. I'm fine. If you did get the Johnson & Johnson, may God have mercy on your soul. That is a roll of the dice that nobody should. It's never a good sign days after you get injected with anything and the government comes out and they're like, you didn't take all of it, right? We still got some bubbles to work out, baby. If you don't want to go bungee jumping, hear the guy behind you at the edge of the cliff go, whoa, don't go yet, it's not ready! Some people are just like, I'm going to smoke through it, man. I'm going to smoke through COVID. Smoke all the weed. Yeah, I know. You get signs. I like being a comedian smoking pot. People don't chastise you for that behavior. There are jobs where you get in trouble. Sha'Carri Richardson, the Olympic marathon runner, got kicked out of the Summer Games for smoking weed. They told her it's a performance-enhancing drug. You can't smoke pot, Sha'Carri. It's a performance-enhancing drug. No weed for you, Sha'Carri. It's a performance enhancer. I was like, okay, Olympic Committee, who's never done drugs before? Do you not know how weed works? I've smoked a lot of pot in my day. I've never been so high that anyone in my life has ever been like, dude, Adam, slow down. Emotionally or physically. It's always like, hey man, you haven't blinked in an hour and a half. Should we take you to the hospital? You drove to 7-Eleven, got a Slurpee, forgot that you drove and walked home. I think it's time to hit the reset button, man. Price is Right. Probably my favorite game show of all time. To talk about daytime TV, yeah. We'd love to host it, given the chance. People always ask comedians, what game show would you host? Price is Right. PIR, any day of the week. RIP, by the way, to Bob Barker. What a legend, dude. What a just gangster. The GOAT. I'll be honest, I thought he died 15 years ago, but that's... he was just living as a dead guy for like 20 years. But getting that old, too, it's like, fuck. That's why when you look at, I mean, Harrison Ford's 81, and he's still doing Indiana Jones movies, which has got to be pissing Joe Biden off. Joe's 80. Joe's 80, and he's just like, I'd love to see a flight of stairs at the mall, you cocksucker. God bless him, Joe. God, I think things took a turn when that 60-minute interview aired. They were like, Mr. President, wow, how's your focus? And he was like, never a good sign when you start nervously laughing before you respond to anything. He's like, my Focus, hey, I'll drive a Ford Focus. Is that what you want? I'll drive it right now. You want to go to Jumanji? I know the way. I know the leader. We'll take a right. We'll go left. We'll go up, down, A, B, select, start. Hey, it's your world. I'm just hey, chicken or beef, fart or queef. Hey, I'll eat a spoon. I'll eat soup with a fork, but does that make me gay? It's like, Joe, that's not the question. Stay on track, baby. Every time he talks, I'm just like, come on, baby, sound it out. We got this. I'm on the other end of the TV, so supportive, right? When he's like, sometimes I'm just like, yeah, and I'll blow into the tube, hoping he'll go, Blake shot him, and just, take that boost into the next story. He shouldn't have been on that bike. I don't know why JoJo was on that bike. You're 80, baby. No one expects anything of you aerobically when you hit 80, right? I don't know who in Joe's camp was like, Mr. President, the American people don't want to hear about your views on healthcare. They want to see if you can ride a 15-speed Huffy through a dusty terrain. And Joe, God bless him, was like, no problem, I got it. Why you want it? Just fucking parkoured into the bushes in broad daylight and bled from the eardrums. He went full America's Funniest Home Videos. I was like, Joe, this footage should not exist unless you're trying to win $25,000 from Alfonso Ribeiro. Gotta Control, Alt, delete this shit, man. Jill is standing by him, and I love that. She's like, whether he falls upstairs or down bikes, I'm right there with him. And she's, doing what a first lady does. But at some point, as every first lady has to do, it's a thankless job. You got to step up with your own campaign slogan, your own motto that really unifies the country. Every first lady's done it. Michelle Obama famously went hard in the paint with, they go low, we go high. And everybody was like, let's fucking go. That's what I'm talking about, MB. Nice shoulders, by the way, right? And then Melania Trump fired right back with, be best. And everybody was like, yeah! Wait, what? The fuck did you say? Be best, be better, try your best. I feel like we're missing some words, sweetheart. For sure Trump was standing in the wings staring her down like, look, you get 2 syllables a week and then back in the box, bitch. You've already said too much. Excuse me. Somebody grab a cookie by the pussy and give it to Barron. You know what to do. You see a pussy, you grab a pussy. Excuse me. If you see a cookie, grab a pussy cookie. It's a chocolate chip pussy cookie. Excuse me, oatmeal raisin, gluten-free pussy cookie. Cookie pussy. You can grab a pussy cookie. Grab a cookie pussy. Oh my God, so funny when he said that. Some things are so bonkers. Like when I heard him go, you can grab him by the pussy, I just uncontrollably I was like, oh my God! Like no part of his mouth was like, wait, don't. He was just like, do what you gotta do, mouth. I trust you. Hey man, abhorrent, derogatory, misogynistic, however you took that is how you took that. How I took it when Trump was like, you can grab him by the pussy, was, hey, has this guy ever hooked up with a woman before? For real, because his whole defense was, it's a locker room talk, baby, okay? Excuse me, you don't get it, okay? Because you're a tiny cock loser and you don't play sports, okay? But the real fellas, excuse me, we play sports. And we go to the locker room, the room with lockers, where we put our shoes, excuse me, and our gloves that we use to grab cookie pussies, excuse me. And you don't get it because you're a tiny cock loser, but we go to the room with laughters after sports, and we talk about pussies and cookies. That's one version of how he sounds, for sure. That's how I hear it. I don't know how you hear it, but I heard that and I was like, yo, Don, I played all the sports, baby. I was in all the locker rooms. I never heard any guy go up to another guy and be like, yo, Cameron, you got a crush on Michelle? Here's what you do. You listen, don't even make eye contact. As soon as you see her, you grab that shit, dude. You grab a fistful, you grab it, you twist it, you bop it. You've seen the commercials, dog. You're quarterback now, Cameron. People, I don't know. Everyone's just trying their best. Lizzo was on top of the world, man. And fucking one weird move. Who knew that was, you know someone till you know them, truly. Lizzo, I was so pumped. She was just like, man, you could still have a fat ass and get on a trampoline. I forget what she said, but just the whole body positivity movement that she was pushing, I was a real big fan of. I thought it was awesome, because again, having weight issues growing up, I was like, this is really, people are too hard on themselves. I hate that. She truly was sticking up for people to be like, dude, just fucking don't be so hard on yourself. It sucks. Life is short. I dug that, And I was pretty indifferent about her tunes. Catchy as all hell for sure. But, her videos would pop up in my IG feed and she was like, you want to see me get in a hot tub? And I was like, I got a couple hours to kill for sure, yeah. But then she just took a turn, man. I don't know if you guys know exactly what happened. My wife and I, we looked it up. We're like, what did Lizzo actually do? And so I pulled up the article. I took a little screenshot just to make sure I didn't misquote exactly what went down. So it said, it's claimed that Lizzo began inviting cast members to take turns touching the nude performers, catching dildos launched from the performers' vaginas, and eating bananas protruding from the performers' vaginas during a visit to a strip club in Amsterdam. Yeah. I don't know if I should keep reading. You do know it is illegal to jack off in the showroom, right? That should be a rule of thumb in most public settings. I mean, I don't know what that was, but it didn't sound good. I mean... Yeah, I mean, every young... Isn't it so funny? Still, even at like 41, the guys don't have cool cum noises. My buddy's kid is addicted to porn, and he's like, oh, dude, he's just addicted. I just can't get him off. I was like, how do you know he's addicted? He's like, because I hear him. I was like, that sucks. That noise, as you just showed us, sir, it's so... Dude, it is every guy in their head when they're coming for the first time, they're like, yeah, yeah! Ooh, yeah, I'm coming. It's like this firework festival and parades. No, every dude when they're coming sounds like you, bro. Just like going through a haunted mansion on a razor scooter. I mean, thank you for setting up that joke. I was not going to do that. Porn is so extensive too. God, I'm just like, butts, boobs, what do you got? Some people are like, I need like 15 storylines. I need plot. Stepmom fucks stepdad until stepson comes home early from Iraq. It's like, dude, that's too much. Yeah, man, Lizzo. Not cool. Somebody had to know though. It's always somebody from the past that comes out of the woodworks when these things make national news. Get on any camera, any station, they're like, yeah, I knew. I knew. I went to elementary school with Lizzo, and I know she was always pretty cool, but you could tell by the way she played kickball. I always played kickball with Lizzo. Every time I rolled the ball to her, she was just licking her lips like, I don't know if she thought it was because she thought it was a meatball or something. I just knew there was a look in her eyes like someday this bitch is gonna feed strangers pussy bananas. I could tell it. I could tell it right then and there. I could tell it. strip club though, man. That's strippers in general. My wife was so cool about my bachelor party. She's like, do whatever you want. I really don't care. She's the fucking greatest. She was just like, she is so supportive of this world and job, and it's so crazy. This is her birthday weekend that we're doing the special on. She's like, fuck yeah, I'm all about it, right? And the bachelor party was cool. We went to AZ, got an Airbnb, had a pool, video game truck, a steel drum guy for some reason. My dwarf buddy was there for diversity purposes and pictures. Had booze, weed, basketball hoop, and my best friend was like, dude, we gotta get a stripper. And I was like, yeah, I think that part of my life is actually behind me. And then he threw me this emotional curveball. Oh, come on! And I was like, well, I didn't look at it from that angle. Let's do it. Yeah, that's a great point. Come on is a significant argument.